Tonight on Movies on the Rocks, we review Doctor Strange and Fantastic Beasts. We take a look at who won the box office battle from the weekend, what are the hottest shows on Netflix, and who's the best Joker of all time. We cover that and more, only on Movies on the Rocks. Welcome to Movies on the Rocks, live from Colorado Media School in Lakewood, Colorado. Good evening, I'm your host Kayla, and with me, as always, is my sometimes wonderful co-host, Ben. How are you tonight, Ben?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you, Kayla?
I'm fantastic. And speaking of fantastic, I just saw Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and I cannot wait to talk about it. As you know, we rate our movies on a scale of sober, tipsy, and hammered. Sober being the best, and hammered meaning awful.
Tonight we're going to get into something strange. Doctor Strange, that is. Marvel's latest hit follows the rise of the Sorcerer Supreme, starring Sherlock Holmes himself, Benedict Cumberbatch. Continuing its domination at the box office, Doctor Strange is the story of neurosurgeon Dr. Stephen Strange and his quest to get the use of his hands back after being in a terrible car accident. When traditional medicine fails him, he turns to a mysterious enclave known as Kamar-Taj. Here, Strange realizes the world isn't as it seems. Doctor Strange acquires new mystical powers and enters a war between good and evil. This movie is full of stunning special effects, but rests its laurels on an amazing script. I personally absolutely loved Doctor Strange. It was one of probably the best movies of 2016. Like, all of the year, it was the best.
Would you say it's one of Marvel's best hits?
I would say it's on par with Captain America: Civil War.
You can't really put it over Ant-Man though, and I can't get behind it because I watched Benedict Cumberbatch in Atonement, and so that movie kind of resonates with me, and so whenever I think of Benedict Cumberbatch, I think of Atonement and the things that happen. However, Rachel McAdams is one of my favorite actresses, so I'll have to probably wait for that to come out on Blu-ray, but I will definitely watch it sober.
You know, I watched it on the big screen, IMAX Cinema. It was fantastic. Totally see it sober. But, you know, there were a lot of special effects in it that made you think, am I high? Am I not? So it's like, it's a little give and take there, but I thought it was fantastic, so.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see it. All right, and don't forget to stay in your seats as the credits roll. Marvel continues its tradition with a special teaser at the end. Doctor Strange has officially passed Ant-Man at the worldwide box office, grossing over $570 million just after 3 weeks in theaters.
Speaking of box office, let's see if anyone can catch up to Doctor Strange. Coming in 5th this weekend is Almost Christmas, with a weekend total of $7 million. Arrival finishes at 4th with a near $12 million weekend tolls, and Trolls is battling Doctor Strange for 2nd place. Both have taken in just over $17.5 million this weekend, while our next movie, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, conquers the weekend with a robust $75 million opening. Having Harry Potter withdrawals, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them looks to quench that thirst. Taking place 70 years prior to Harry Potter, this prequel follows Arthur Newt Scamander as he scours the globe looking for fantastic beasts. While passing through New York City, he finds that the city is threatened by mystical acts of destruction. Fantastic Beasts allows you to re-emerge yourself in the magical world created by Harry Potter. This movie is full of humor, imagination, and characters you can't wait to fall in love with.
I was so excited to see this movie because I am a huge Harry Potter fan. So it was nice to kind of get that reenactment with this movie. Obviously it's a prequel, so it's not going to be everything Harry Potter, but with the magic that was included in it, the CGI that we have now is incredible. So you felt like all of the beasts were real, and it just felt very, I guess I was just lost in the reminiscence of what Harry Potter was, and so I just felt like that movie brought everything back that I felt when I watched the Harry Potter series.
Oh yeah, I grew up reading the Harry Potter books. They're some of my favorite book series ever. Spent one winter break reading all of them straight without sleeping. It was horrible. Fantastic though. I totally would go see this movie sober just because it's a Harry Potter movie and I love Harry Potter.
Yes, I would definitely see this movie sober 10 times over because it was just amazing. And then they add a glimpse of Johnny Depp in at the end, and Johnny Depp is a phenomenal actor and can get into any character that he plays. And so I'm really excited to see the next 5 movies with him in it and how they are going to come out.
Oh, for sure. As we saw earlier, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is dominating at the box office and is looking to be the next movie in the Harry Potter franchise.
Hoping to win the Thanksgiving box office, 3 big movies make their way to the screen on Black Friday. The Rock gets animated in Moana, where he plays the legendary demigod Maui. Billy Bob Thornton returns as everyone's favorite drunk Santa in Bad Santa 2. And Allied, the movie that broke up Brangelina, hopes to break the box office on November 25th. That's going to do it for us on Doctor Strange and Fantastic Beasts. I can't wait to see the battle these will continue to have at the box office. Are you like me and sit around for hours on Netflix trying to find the perfect show to watch? Up next, we will tell you what shows to binge on as you Netflix and chill. Welcome back to Movies on the Rocks. We just got through covering some exciting new movies that if you haven't checked out yet, you should. Have you ever fallen down the rabbit hole in Netflix suggestions? Well, fall no longer. I'm here with the best of Netflix, starting with the gripping tale of adversity and courage in Luke Cage. This show centers around former convict Cage, who after a sabotage experiment gains super strength and unbreakable skin. In order to rebuild his life, Cage must face his past. This show has it all, from great filming, fantastic acting, and a gripping plot. Luke Cage is a must-watch. Creeping out its viewers in the best way, Stranger Things has become an instant cult classic. Set in 1983 Indiana, 12-year-old Will Byers mysteriously vanishes and things begin to get supernatural. This is a show inspired by the greats like Spielberg, Carpenter, and King. It is guaranteed to be a surefire hit. If comedy is your vibe, be sure to binge on Trailer Park Boys. Based in Nova Scotia, this show follows the adventures of 3 friends and their dim-witted attempts to get rich and take over the trailer park. With 10 seasons to enjoy and 3 full-length films, you'll have plenty of shenanigans to sink your teeth into. Finally, we have Narcos. This is the story of an infamous drug smuggler, Pablo Escobar, and follows his rise and fall as a Colombian kingpin. Set and filmed in Colombia, this show does the perfect job of setting the mood and scene throughout the series. Whether you're a history buff or someone who just enjoys a great story packed with action, Narcos is the show for you. Speaking of stories packed with action, I have my good friend Rodrigo here to tell you about the movies that are all about action. How are you today, Rodrigo?
I'm doing great. You know, I went to the zoo this weekend, and then after that, I checked out this awesome movie called Bleed for This.
That's so cool.
Bleed for This is a true story about overcoming adversity and never giving up. In it, we see boxer Vinny the Tasmanian Devil Pazienza on top of the world. He had just won 2 world title fights. Then 1 month later, he was in a near-fatal car crash, despite a broken neck and doctors questioning whether he would ever walk again. Vinny and new trainer Kevin Rooney look to defy all odds and make one of the most epic comebacks in sports history.
All right, what did you think of the movie?
You know, I thought it was an okay movie. You know, I think it's lacking a lot of the boxing drama that we're used to seeing, like the Rocky movies. The production was great, the direction was great. I thought, you know, some of the performances were okay. I think that they could have used a different actor to play Vinny Pazienza. I don't think that Miles Teller was able to portray the exact emotions that maybe Pazienza had while he was recovering. I definitely didn't see this as a very, very good movie.
Yeah. Do you think Mark Wahlberg would have been a better one?
Yes, I believe Mark Wahlberg, you know, his meathead type of attitude that he brought in the movie The Fighter could have been something that would have played a better role. You know, if you like the heartwarming comeback stories, this movie is great. You know, I give it a tipsy rating just because it wasn't the best.
Yeah, with your review, I definitely go with tipsy. Like you said, I definitely like the Rocky movies more and Apollo, but I'm still excited to see it when it comes out on Blu-ray.
Another great boxing movie was The Hurricane, played by Denzel Washington, who stars in one of my favorite movies, which I'm anxious to get into. That movie is Training Day. Training Day is a whirlwind thriller about the good and evil within a police force. Jack Hoyt, a narcotics trainee, is anxious to impress Detective Alonzo Harris on his first day with the unit. As the day progresses, Hoyt starts to realize that his mentor may be on the other side of right and wrong as he enforces his brand of street justice. This movie has it all: drugs, violence, sex, and money. By the end, you the viewer might not even know what side you stand on. What an awesome movie this is, one of Denzel Washington's best films. I love this movie because of the plot. It has everything that you need from a great movie. This movie can kind of give you a view of what might go on in some police departments, you know, the good cop, bad cop type of roles that they play. You know, Denzel Washington tries to lure Ethan Hawke's character, Jack Hoyt, into becoming a corrupted cop like he is, and obviously Jack Hoyt doesn't see it that way. And it's an awesome movie. The setting is Los Angeles, you know, the mean streets of LA. You can actually see crimes being committed in broad daylight in this movie. Oh, and the soundtrack is excellent.
That is so cool. Well, Training Day may go down as one of the greatest movies of all time. The acting and cinematography are phenomenal. I loved your insight on these movies. Thank you for introducing the heartwarming story of Bleed for This, as well as reintroducing a classic in Training Day. Ledger, Lettle, Nicholson, oh my, who's the best Joker and why? Logan and Ben are coming up to debate this and break down the newest rendition of the Joker in Suicide Squad.
Welcome back to Movies on the Rocks with yours truly, Ben. I hope you enjoyed our movie reviews on battles of good versus evil in Training Day and the heroic efforts displayed in Bleed for This. Wait, heroic efforts? Battles of good and evil? Sounds like a superhero movie. And by the looks of it, 2017 might be the year of the superhero. The much anticipated sequel, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, releases on May 5th. Considering how good the first one was, I cannot wait until this one hits theaters. In it, we finally see who Peter Quill's dad is. We see old enemies become new allies, as well as some familiar faces from comic books making their way into the big screen. I cannot wait for this movie. Ever wonder what happened to Wonder Woman? Wonder no more. In July, the heroine returns to action in her own blockbuster movie. It's great to see the recent rise in female superheroes. Not since Halle Berry in Catwoman has a female been the lead in a superhero movie. I expect Gal Gadot, who plays Wonder Woman, to bust the doors wide open for female leads in this genre. Finally, Hugh Jackman makes his last appearance as the iconic Wolverine in Logan.
Logan, what did you do?
Charles, the world is not the same as it was. Mutants. They're gone now.
I hurt myself today to see if I still feel.
Speaking of Logans, we have our very own Logan here in the studios with us now. Welcome, Logan, or should I call you Weapon X?
Thanks, Ben. And Logan will be just fine. You know, Ben, just like in the movie Logan, I'm a huge fan of the anti-hero. There's nothing like a badass leading a movie, and in Suicide Squad, we get 6. Deadshot, Harley Quinn, El Diablo, Killer Croc, Enchantress, and Captain Boomerang get a chance at redemption. Figuring they're all expendable, U.S. intelligence assembles a supervillain team for a top-secret mission in exchange for reduced sentences. Dubbed Task Force X, these criminals unite to battle a mysterious and powerful entity, while the diabolical Joker launches an evil agenda all of his own. What'd you think of Suicide Squad, Ben?
You know, I thought it was all right. It could have been better. The script was a little lackluster. The action scenes were fantastic. The cast was fantastic. Will Smith as Deadshot, probably one of the best choices they could have made for that.
See, I really liked Suicide Squad. Probably my favorite movie of the year, actually, Ben. I love Margot Robbie. I think she's beautiful. I think everyone on Earth would agree with me. And she killed Harley Quinn. I believed every minute of it. Her and the Joker had a great connection. Can't say enough good things about this movie. I really like the cast as well. I thought Will Smith was a great addition that not a lot of people talked about because Margot Robbie kind of took the show away, but Will Smith was great as well. Love the special effects, love the action, love the whole thing. I could probably see that movie, I would say sober, definitely sober 10 times, but it might be fun to get a couple in you and be a little tipsy while you're watching it as well.
You know, I'd probably have to go and see it tipsy if I were to see it again. It was good, but it wasn't all there for me. But in Suicide Squad, we got a fresh look at the Joker. And it certainly isn't the first time that we've seen him on the big screen. Logan, if you had to choose, who would be the best Joker on the cinematic screen?
All right, Ben, so I think Jared Leto really has a chance to become the best Joker of all time. But he didn't get much screen time in Suicide Squad, which I thought was a big mistake on the writing part of the movie. If he gets more time in a following movie in the future, I think there's no doubt in my mind Jared Leto becomes the best Joker. But at this point in time, I have to go with Heath Ledger from The Dark Knight. He was scary, he was intense, he really sold the part. I loved Heath Ledger. Scenes like when he's in the hospital with Harvey Dent and they almost kill the Joker, that kind of thing, that got my blood pumping. Absolutely loved it. Heath Ledger is my pick.
You know, Heath Ledger, he was awesome. His magic scene where he came into the giant group of people and he's like, you want to see a magic trick? Slams the dude's head on a pencil, makes the pencil disappear. That was a fantastic scene.
Freaks you out.
It freaks you out, but it also portrays the Joker really well. But someone I think who did better as the Joker was Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson was fantastic. He had a great laugh on him. And when he killed someone, like when someone died or he like used his little flower thing to spray the Joker gas, he would always contort their faces into a smile as his calling card saying, I was here, this is the Joker, what are you gonna do about it? It was the mob boss mentality that Jared Leto is going to have to try and up on. But I think Jack Nicholson was the best Joker.
Yeah, and Jared Leto, definitely some of his crew's plans that they execute throughout the movie really are similar to Jack Nicholson and his crew and his henchmen's plans that they played out in their movies. I really think I do agree with you on this one. I think Jared Leto can be the perfect follow-up to Jack Nicholson as the mob boss leader Joker.
For sure. And every good superhero needs a villain to match. None may be more iconic than the Joker. Coming up, we jam on Space Jam. Next on Movies on the Rocks.
What a day.
Welcome back to Movies on the Rocks. Back with me is my co-host, Kayla, and it's time to celebrate a birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Thanks, Ben. How sweet of you to remember.
Yeah, that's what I meant. But also, Space Jam celebrates its 20th birthday this month. In 1996, this movie became the top grossing basketball movie of all time, bringing in $230 million. With talks of a sequel on the horizon, will we see LeBron James take over the role of MJ, the role MJ made so iconic? We certainly hope so. Space Jam and Warner Brothers, thank you for bringing us this classic that 20 years later still stands the test of time.
That's all we have for tonight. Hopefully we were able to help you decide what movies you are going to see this weekend with the family and what to binge on Netflix when you get snowed in.
Be sure to check out all the movies we reviewed. You will not be disappointed.
I'm Kayla.
And I'm Ben. Have a great night.